Hello and welcome to this week's Sunday service. This is a weekly video from me to you that I hope will help you to create and live a life you love. And this week I would like to talk to you about money. So, hot topic at the moment and quite controversial. So that is why I wanted to speak to you about it. So in the news this week has been talk of the gender pay gap once again. And this won't go away until it's eradicated. And what I want to do with this week's video is help you to figure out ways that you can contribute to closing that gap. So not in any way placing the blame for the gap on women, because that would be wrong, because it's in no way our own fault, but just getting us to start thinking about how we might be able to start changing it. So some of the statistics that have come about this week are that the average pay for men and women, the gap is 9.1%. So men are being paid on average 9.1% more than women, and that is significantly higher in certain occupations. And there's also a statistic that men are significantly outnumbering women in the top jobs. So men are outnumbering women by 3 to 1 in the top jobs. And my favourite statistic is that in 2016, in London alone, men earned £70 billion more than women. £70 billion. That is an astonishing figure. I had to check my facts twice to make sure that I was bringing you the right figure. And I really feel like that statistic just speaks volumes about what we're facing and the amount of change that is required. No matter what the companies out there might be saying, there is a significant shift that is needed. Now, it boggles my mind that this gap still exists in 2018, or that it even existed in the first place. I don't know exactly how we got here, but what I do know is that this gap, for me, it's like a physical representation of the difference in value that is placed on men and women in society today. I really do believe that currently in today's society, men are valued more highly than women. Their contributions, their presence is valued more highly than that of women, and that absolutely has to change. Society is evolving, and women are seeking parity with men, and in order to achieve that parity, we have to be seen as being equally valuable. Now, in no way does what you are paid reflect your worth. There is no link between how much you are worth as a human being and how much you are paid. But I do believe that it's really important to recognize the importance of money in our lives in order for us to be independent and to have freedom and to have a certain level of personal power. And it's really important to recognize our contribution in the amount that we are being remunerated, and to recognize that our contribution is just as valuable as the man who is sitting at the desk next to ours if we're in a corporate. Now, I'm coming from a place here of having always had quite a high consciousness around money. So I was the child who was constantly asking my parents how much they earned. I was the one who proclaimed how much I was going to earn when I got older. I chose a career specifically based on how much I knew that I was going to be able to earn, rightly or wrongly. Because I always had in mind that money equaled freedom and independence, and that it was going to enable me to have a life that I loved. And I was also very conscious of the fact that I did not expect a Prince Charming to rock up, rescue me, and to take care of my finances for the rest of my life, which I do think is a story that some women still live by. That is a conditioning that we have to break out of in order to become more empowered around our finances. And that's what this video is all about. It's about you becoming more empowered around your finances. So what is going on? Why as women, do we not take greater leadership when it comes to our money? Why will we give so much more attention to other areas of our life and not to our money? I'm sure there's a quote that says, you know, you master your money or your money will become the master of you, something along those lines. And it is so, so true. So ask yourself this: have you ever asked for a pay rise? Have you ever challenged the fact that you are being paid less than a male colleague, perhaps? And if not, why not? Is there some belief in you that you are less valuable and less worthy than your male counterparts? Because if there is, then that needs to be knocked on the head straight away, because it's completely untrue. We should not have to be asking these questions, but the fact is that at the moment there is a need for women to step up and ask these questions continually, because there's also some statistics out there saying that even when we do ask, we still get told no, and we're not given the pay rises that perhaps men are. And also ask yourself, what are your beliefs about your capabilities when it comes to managing your money? Do you believe that the way you manage your money currently is the way it's always going to be, and there's no way for you to change that? Do you believe that men are just better at managing money than women are? Because again, that is just untrue. If you think about it logically, why would a man be imbued with any more financial savvy and capabilities than a woman? There's just no reason that that would be the case. So it really is time as women that we stop handing over the reins of our finances to men, whether that be our husbands, whether that be our bosses, and that we start to take control of our finances and to recognize that we can exert some control over our financial present and our financial future. Many of us will say, it's just not British to talk about money, and it's just not feminine to talk about money, which is just nonsense. Again, this is societal conditioning that is keeping us stuck, that is enabling this gender pay gap to continue to exist, and enabling women to get themselves into positions of financial dependence on men. You know, at the moment, society is changing. There are many more divorces. There are many more people staying single. So it's imperative that each one of us learns about how to master and how to manage our money. So if you take anything away from this video, I'd love it to be just to think about your beliefs around money, your ideas about how capable you are of managing and mastering your finances, and also just an awareness of whether you have been undervaluing yourself when it comes to your work and also just in life in general. And if you do have a desire to become a master of your finances, I would highly, highly recommend that you go and check out the work of Anne Wilson, the Wealth Chef. She is a financial master. She will be able to teach you and point you in the right direction of how to be a true leader of the money in your life and how to move towards financial freedom, which is so important, I believe, in this day and age where pensions just aren't going to exist, and we really do need to be thinking about how we are going to be supporting ourselves in our older years. So please, please, please do go and check out her work, and I would highly recommend her Financial Freedom University as a very, very savvy investment. And I will leave you with that for this week. I hope this has been of some use to you, and I very much look forward to speaking to you again next week for another Sunday service.